Okay, I feel like it's time for a bit of an update on the JK. So here's where we're at. Last time you guys seen it, it had the 37-inch Coopers with the Method bead grips. Now it's got these little 34s, I guess they are. The factory takeoffs off my dad's Gladiator that you could see in this video. Why am I running those? You're probably wondering. Because after I did the snow camp trip, and I borrowed his 38-inch Falcon MT-01s, and I absolutely loved the way this thing looked with those on it. And it went really, really, really good. Those tires are better than expected. This is pretty comical. We're just creeping away. We got all these guys trying to get around me. So what I went ahead and did was I sold the Coopers, and with the wheels on them, because they're bead grips, I was worried about pulling the wheels off and ruining the bead of the tire. So I just went ahead and sold them with the wheels on them. I got a pretty good deal on the wheels anyway, so it didn't really matter. And then I ordered another set of wheels and bought a set of the 38 MT-01s. So that's what's gonna go on it. These things are weapons in the snow, and they drive really good still, and they look quite a bit better on that thing. Same wheels, just a new set. And they're gonna go on it, and we'll flex test it and see how it clears. I think it'll clear totally fine. I mean, it might rub at like full stuff, but for 99% of the stuff that we're gonna do, at least with this Jeep, it'll be totally fine. The other thing that's new, you guys will like this, or I hope you do anyway, I do. My buddy Matt built this for me. It's 99% built anyway. So you got, I wish I had two thumbs. My shorts, apparently. These drawers that go in and then lock. And this taller drawer goes in and locks. Full depth all the way up to the passenger seat. You can see the height difference here. My cooler fits right on here. I got to build a couple little strips to go here, here, and there. That way the cooler has like a notch to sit in. And then I'll put these, so I'll run a strap over the top of it and hold it down. And then the other really cool thing is you got this panel down here that comes out. And then you see that little tub that's would typically be inaccessible once you put this in. I got this latch here. And then this thing is actually, let's see if I can do it with one hand, on hinges, so it lifts up. So there's hinges in the front, it lifts up, you gotta move the seat forward, and then you can get anything out of there. I'm gonna put like my Gluetread, Colby valves, some recovery gear, stuff like that in there. That way it's not stuff that I typically need all the time, or hopefully won't ever need, but you know how that goes. And then I can fit mountain houses in here. There's some room right there that my little Coleman grill will go in. And then I got this table, obviously. And then I got these lights. That way, when we're setting up camp and have that, like this thing will be very well set up. We're doing a big trip next week as of the day I'm filming this. Amy will be driving this, and I'll be on my 300L. And so we're gonna do the northern half of the ORBDR. So we'll be very well set up. Amy will like driving this. New tires, should be pretty cool. The other thing is, I don't think I've showed you guys this before, but I got this Roto Packs. It does have fuel in it, and then I built this mount. Oh, let's see. I can pull it off. I built this mount here that connects to the hinges out of aluminum because, you know, I'm trying to be lightweight. And then I built this mount here, and this holds a chainsaw and it's super quick to take it out and in. These guys, they're out of Washington here. Alcobra Metals. This is the Bite Tight chainsaw holder, and this thing is slick. I was gonna build my own. I was gonna do all this stuff because I didn't like any of the chainsaw holders on the market. And I was started to work on my own, and then somebody found this and sent it to me. And it is so much quicker than anything else you can buy to get the saw in and out of. And if you're doing stuff like that camp trip that we went on, the snow camp trip, and you have the saw off 952 times in a day, this is the only way to go. We had it on the roof rack of Nathan's Jeep, and it was just like a struggle every time, you know, in and out, cutting so many freaking trees. So I was dead set on getting a good saw mount, and I finally found one. These guys are freaking awesome. And they're cheap. I think it was like 48 bucks or something. And this is the open-ended one, so you can put whatever length bar. Obviously, I'm limited by the tailgate, but I'm usually not hauling a big saw anyway. I'll show you guys how it works. Right there, tight. It is very tight. I don't see anywhere that it's rubbing. And I think I'm maxed out or real close to it. The tractor won't lift anymore. But this thing flexes.
I am flexing.
So let's look at the back. I haven't even looked at it yet. Oh yeah, she's hard in there. Okay, so it's gonna take some trimming there and all along there and there. Oof. Yeah. I don't know how much is left. You can't tell because those shocks have the little sheath over them. But it'll be fine for this trip. I don't think Amy's going to be doing anything more than that. I would hope not anyway. But yeah, flex is really, really good. Check this out. So the cooler goes up here. I mounted these D-rings, and this last one on the back here just hooks to the handle. So you just got this one when you stop and open it and want a cold water. And then I put these little angles here all the way around. And then there's two in the front to keep it from sliding out of its home. And then there's one more strap just like this in the front. So that's going to turn out really cool, or it's going to work really good, I should say. On the 300L, I cleaned the air filter. It was pretty clean, but you know, when you're doing a trip like this, you better start with a clean one. And I got these giant loop saddlebags. They're I think they're like 12 liters. So they're the small ones, but small bike, so it fits. I had to modify my rear rack. So they did have these things here, but I cut them off so they would actually allow a little more access into the bags. And then later, I might cut these down and do like a inset Allen to gain another, you know, ½ inch worth of bag, because that's just like pinched and you can't get into that part of the bag. So that's not a giant loop problem. That's a me problem with my super cheap Taiwanese Moto Skill rear rack. But that was all that was out at the time when I bought the bike. Of course, because ABG, I got the Sons of Smoky trash sack that I'm gonna see if I can mount it maybe around this bracket and then maybe around that. And then it'll hang down, probably cover the license plate, but we'll do it once we're on gravel. And then Amy doesn't gotta smell all the beer cans and Mountain House packages. I think she got some of the stuff loaded today. Oh yeah, she's being efficient at it like I taught her. Just kidding, she's already efficient. And got the bulletproof phone mount, and then my tablet will go in there. I guess I should probably put that in there now so I don't forget. And she'll be navigating kind of on her own. See how she does. It's Monday night. We leave Thursday for the BDR, and Steven come up to do some regular maintenance on his Jeep. He did the brakes, and he was getting ready to do oil change, put the tires back on, and I know it's kind of hard to see, but bad wheel bearings, both sides in the front. So he took my Ranger and headed to Vancouver, which is the only place that has them in stock. And he's gonna go grab them. I'm gonna pull this thing apart and be ready to install them once he gets back. That way, Lauren doesn't lose a wheel bearing when she's driving the Jeep. So I got Steven's wheel bearing off. He owes me because when he put this together, or whoever did, they didn't put any anti-seize on this ring. That's kind of key for these to come off easier. He did, however, grease the spline to the axle, which you can see kind of in here. But he was thinking about just letting these roll for this trip, and check that out. These are terrible shape, and this is the better one of the two. Wheel bearings are off. He's not back yet. We're gonna go ahead and do his oil change for him real quick, get him just that much closer, because he still has to load all his stuff on his bike, and he has to do some stuff to that too, air filter, and figure out a switch for his charge port, and he's got a lot to do. We are getting ready to roll our version of the BDR 2024. There's just a couple of us here. We're meeting up at a Slatchy Prairie with a bunch of other people. Lauren's driving the Jeep. Steven's got it all spiced up. Amy's driving RJK, and then Lorraine's driving Nathan's.